Hello and welcome to our Hilchos Pesach webcast, the laws of Pesach, which we will do now, a daily 10-minute synopsis of certain laws that all should know before the Yom Tov of Pesach comes. So we will send out a daily 10-minute video, and every day we will cover a different topic in the laws of Pesach. In order to properly get into the laws of Pesach, a brief introduction is necessary, and that is that the laws of Pesach differ very much from the laws of any other Yom Tov, in that on this Yom Tov we are told not to eat Chametz, but not only not to eat Chametz, but not to possess or own any Chametz anywhere. So for example, you have many laws in the Torah about not eating certain substances. For example, you're not allowed to eat non-kosher food. But nowhere in the Torah does it say you're not allowed to own non-kosher food. With regard to Pesach, there is a specific law that says that you shouldn't eat chametz, and you should not even own chametz. You should not see chametz that belongs to you, or you should not have in your possession any chametz that belongs to you. So in the first few sessions we will cover this negative commandment of not eating or owning chametz. Later we will get into the positive commandments of Pesach, primarily the mitzvah of eating matzah and the Seder, telling the story of the Exodus to your children during the Seder, drinking the 4 cups, eating the mortar, etc. Now, because there's such a strict prohibition in the Torah not to eat and not even to possess chametz, what that means is that before Pesach, a Jew has to, by definition, in order to fulfill that law, you have to go through your entire house thoroughly, everywhere food could have been brought in the past year, and you need to clean it from all the chametz that might be there. So for example, if you have children in the house and they may drag wafers, cookies, bread, whatever it may be, into the bedrooms, and that chametz might be there, so we have the obligation to go around the whole house and do a thorough cleaning to remove all that chametz, because there is a biblical injunction, a biblical commandment, that before Pesach a person, a Jew, is obligated to dispose of all his chametz. It is the mitzvah of tashbisu, which means that the Torah tells us that the day before Pesach we have the obligation to remove all chametz from our house. Now, of course, no one wants to wait till the day before Pesach, because today's days in our homes are large, many bedrooms, many rooms in the house, and to leave it for the last minute, the chances that you will remove everything are very slim. And therefore Jews, for many generations, have the custom to do Pesach cleaning. This is probably where the idea of spring cleaning came from. But Jews get busy before Pesach cleaning their house. Now, according to the biblical law, according to the strict biblical law, technically a person can wake up on Erev Pesach, that means the morning of before Pesach, and say to himself, he can utter it and think it, and make a declaration that all chametz that belongs to you, that is in your house, is null and void. Making something ownerless, relinquishing your ownership and making it null and void as if it's dust, qualifies for the biblical mitzvah of disposing your chametz. However, the rabbis did not rely on that technique. That would make it very easy, obviously. But the rabbis did not rely on that technique, and the reason is 2 reasons. Number one, if you would just rely on people's thought of relinquishing and making and nullifying, it's what we call in Hebrew the bittul chametz, to nullify the chametz and make it like dust. Well, first of all, not everyone will be sincere in that, because there's many. You may think to yourself, perhaps the chametz that I don't want to reuse, and you may not be serious about this. And later on Pesach or after Pesach, you'll find a box of cereal, for example, that you thought you nullified, but you say, wait a minute, this is a good big box of cereal. Why should I throw it out? Which retroactively would show that the entire bittul chametz that you did in nullification wasn't a serious one. And that is why the rabbis did not want to rely, because not everyone thinks the same and would take it serious. So their nullification may not take effect if they're not serious. And in that way you would still be violating the law of possessing chametz. And that's why they said it's not enough to nullify chametz, you have to actually remove it. And the leftovers, parts that you didn't find, we rely on this bittul, on this nullification, and there is a declaration we make after we search for the chametz on Erev Pesach, where we declare everything ownerless and nullified, and we're not interested in it. But we don't rely on that. We don't rely only on that. The rabbis instituted they obligated every Jew to go ahead out of Pesach and do a formal search. And because I said in these days we have such large houses which we don't want to wait till the last moment, so we do Pesach cleaning beforehand, a few weeks before. That's one reason why the rabbis instituted the actual removal of chametz, the physical removal of the chametz. The other reason was because they were afraid that if you will not physically remove the chametz, you'll just rely on the nullification. You might, during the Yom Tov of Pesach, when it's prohibited to eat, you may find a piece of chametz, something that looks tasty. So although it's not yours and you're not violating the law of owning chametz because you made it ownerless, it's no longer yours. So that part is taken care of. But the problem is that you may, by mistake, you see a cookie and you're used to eating chametz all year round, so you may, by mistake, without even thinking, eat a piece of chametz if it's right there in the house in front of you. If you just relied on the bittul, on the nullification, it's right there, it's all over the house, it's very easy to make a mistake and actually eat chametz on Pesach. So that was the second reason why the rabbis forbade a Jew to have chametz in his house that belongs to him. And therefore we have the obligation to do the formal search. Now, when we talk about cleaning the house for Pesach, this is not a joke. You really have to clean. And the basic law is that any room that you might have brought in chametz throughout the year, you're obligated to go in there, vacuum out, clean out. And some people even go through drawers that kids may have brought chametz in. You don't know, pockets, the kids' pockets. There's just certain things you should look out for. For example, backpacks of kids, their jacket pockets, and things of that nature where you or your kids may have put in chametz. This all has to be checked before Pesach and cleaned out and removed. We will talk in next session, or in 2 sessions from now, about the mitzvah of selling chametz, about the custom of selling chametz, which is a whole different thing. We will discuss that. But for now, let me just briefly say that the law is that all the chametz that you find in your house, most probably you're going to want to destroy it. There's no value to it. But there is chametz that you do not want to throw out, because they can be used after. It can be used after Pesach. For example, entire boxes of cereal and crackers and other things that you just don't want to throw out. You can put it away, and after Pesach you can reuse it. The problem is you own that chametz, and you're not allowed to own that chametz. So a lot of people make the mistake thinking, I'll put it in a different house, I'll put it in the garage, I'll put it in my mother-in-law's house or my neighbor's house. That doesn't help. The reason is because as long as you own it, it doesn't matter where it is. If it's yours, it could be in another country, on the other side of the world, and you are still obligated to remove it. You are still the owner, and you are considered to be in possession of that chametz. For that reason, the rabbis instituted the idea of the sale of chametz. That means that any chametz that you don't want to throw out, you can sell. Which I said we will talk about that next time. To make a synopsis of today, Pesach has in it the positive commandments of matzah, drinking the wine, eating the matzah, making a seder, the positive commandments of Pesach. But then there is also the negative commandment of Pesach, which is not to eat chametz. And Pesach is unique that you're not allowed to even own it, and therefore you have to research the house beforehand, clean it, not wait till the last minute, and remove all the chametz out of your house. Physically, you cannot rely just on the traditional nullification that we do. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.